Hello, my dear students. How are you today? Now we are going to be start. It's a second part, chapter 1, class 9, chemistry, matter in our surrounding. Okay, in last video, the part 1, we already understand about the matters, the states of matter and their properties like solid state and gas, molecular forces, intermolecular spaces, right? And seeing the some important terms like a melting points, melting, boiling, freezing, sublimations, latent heat of melting and boiling, right? So now we are going to be covered other topic like effect of pressure on gases and effect of temperature on gases, evaporation and its cooling effect. Besides that, we are also covered the temperature scale, which I am not writing over here. Now we are saying generally one question is coming, can we change the state of matter by the pressing? Yes, it can be possible. When the pressure applied is on the gases, the particles of a gas become closer, so it's become liquid. We have a certain example about it. This is our what? This is our household gas cylinder, that is LPG. Here compressed natural gas. Second one is CNG, which is filled into the automobiles. So in LPG and in CNG, both have a compressed natural gas and a liquid petroleum gas, right? Just because of this, it is pressed down, so molecules of gases are nearby to each other, and the state from gas change into the liquid. Okay, now the second other example beyond from the CNG and LPG is dry ice, CO2, carbon dioxide when compressed and change into the solid, then it is called the dry ice. This is also a one mark questions. Solid carbon dioxide, compressed carbon dioxide is called the dry ice. Okay, now we are going to see how solid, liquid, and gas interconvert to each other. Here, one state I am not talking about, which is just a point given in your syllabus, that is plasma state. Plasma state is called the fourth stage. It is not directly in your course, but on the sun, inner part of the sun, it is the plasma state, right? Now come back to our main topic, that is solid, liquid, and gas. How they are interconvertible to each other. So we seeing over here solid converted into the liquid, that is called fusion. Okay. Besides that, when liquid converted to the solid, that is called solidification. Now come to the liquid and the gas. When liquid converted into the gas, it is called vaporization. Okay, but when gas is changed into the liquid, that is called condensation. Come to the next point. If gas converted to the liquid or solid converted to the gas, that is called sublimation. It means the solid directly change into the gas and gas is directly changed into the solid. We are talking about already about it. Okay, so we are coming back on the main point. Where it is gone? Just a second, please. Open it. Okay, that is fusion. So this is important point. This is an important figure. You can understand pretty well. I just show it in the with the example. We take the example of a water, where solid ice, liquid, water, and gas is water vapor. Here, gas and solid, that is sublimation. The another term here, sublimation, is used from gas to solid, that is deposition. Okay. Besides that, freezing when it is changed from liquid to solid, melting from solid to liquid, where it is converted to the liquid to gas, it is called evaporation. What? When gas is changed into the liquid, that is called condensation. Like, now we are take the definition of evaporation. So we know the evaporation a cloud is making due to the evaporation of water from the sea or other sources of water. Okay, the change of liquid from the liquid into the vapor at any temperature below its boiling point, it is called the evaporation. It means evaporation is what? Change the liquid into the vapor, right? So evaporation is a surface phenomena. This is the important part. Surface phenomena. How much surface is big, the evaporation is more, right? The particles from the surface gain enough energy to overcome the force of the attraction and change into the vapor state. So we can see over here what are the factors that affect the evaporation. First is rate of evaporation depend on first surface area, temperature and humidity. Beside that, wind speed. So we are trying to be found out its relation. Increase in surface area, increase the rate of evaporation. Okay, more surface area, more evaporation. More temperature, more evaporation. More less humidity, more evaporation. It means it's a inverted. Okay, increase in the wind speed, rate of evaporation is also increased. Only the in case of the humidity, rate of evaporation is down. I show you the figure. These are the water molecules. These are evaporated to the water vapor or any vapor of that solid, liquid. Sorry. Okay. Here we are seeing over here. In a lower energy, they are remains liquid. In a medium energy, they are pulled back to the water. But on a higher energy, it's changed into the water vapor. Okay. So we are taking some example, the causes of the cooling as well. When a liquid evaporates, the particles of a liquid absorb the heat from the surrounding and evaporates, right? So surround become cold. It means evaporation causes the cold. We are seeing this one in the coolers, right? Most of the time we take the example, people sprinkle the water on the roof or the open area at the time of summer, because this during the evaporation water absorb heat and make the surface cooler, right? Taking some other example, we in summer we sweat more because of evaporation, right? Because of evaporation, sweat absorbed heat from the body and making the body cool, right? Beside that, in the summer we are wearing the cotton cloths. So these cotton cloths cool us because they absorb the sweat. Okay, when sweat evaporate, it absorb the heat from our body and making our body cool. That's why we are prefer cotton cloths in the summer, right? How evaporation cooling works, we can see it from the coolers, right? It is absorbed, right? It's a warm air, here water is absorbed and the cool air is 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. We can see the figure of the desert cooler. Here hot waves are come, right? And here is a water tank. So it cool the temperature because it absorbed this. Okay, I'm going to be show picture video for it as well, but at the last. Okay, so you can understand in a pretty well manner. Now the last point over here we are taking, that is temperature scale. We can calculate the temperature in a three way, in the form of Kelvin, in the form of centigrade and in the form of Fahrenheit. Okay, now how we convert each other? So it's very simple formula I am giving over here. Kelvin equal to centigrade plus 273. Okay, it means if you have a 0 degree, you have to be plus 273. So 200 on the 0 degree, the Kelvin temperature is 273, right? But if your inverse convert it from Kelvin to, sorry, centigrade to the Kelvin, to just minus 273 from this one. If 283 is there, it means 283 minus 273 equal to the 10 degrees Celsius, right? It's a simple. You can practice it. Now we are seeing it's a little difficult because the formula Celsius is equal to 5 upon 9 Fahrenheit minus 32, or in other way we can see Fahrenheit equal to 9 upon 5 C into C and in Celsius plus 32. It means take an example. If we have a 40 degrees Celsius temperature, 9 upon 4 or 9 upon 5 into 40, 5 8 the 40, or 8 9 the 72, 72 plus 32, 72 30 plus 32 is equal to 104. So it means 40 degrees Celsius is equal to the 104 degree Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit, it's normally we are map our body temperature where the centigrade is outer area. These are some important questions. These are very simple. What are the matter which has a which has a mass and occupies space, and what are the three states of matter? Obviously solid, liquid and gas. What is the evaporation? I explained this time to you. What are the three factors that evaporation depend? That is surface area, other one is wind speed, humidity, etc. Okay, why temperature of water remains constant during the boiling? Because of latent heat, right? Fourth questions, difference between the gas and vapor. You can do it from the book as well. It's a simple. Okay, vapor is a convertible state from liquid to gas, but gas is initially where the molecules are very far apart from each other. The molecular space is too much, even in vapor, but vapor is a convertible state and vapor can be changed again. How does the water in a pot become cool during the summer? Because of latent heat. Why does sea water droplet on the outer surface of the glass containing ice cold water? It's an important question. Why does the naphthalene bond disappear? You know, because of sublimation. Give the reason why does the evaporation is a surface phenomenon. It's very simple. I explained right now. The convert this one, I think simple. In the last assignment you are already do it. Why should we wear cotton cloth in summer? I explained it, and I in the last I try to give you the reason why it is called the second one. What it is called? Just a second. Okay, why did not open that video? Okay. So sorry students, it is not open right now. Okay, so I'm going to be stop over here. Bye bye, sayonara, take care, and do its complete NCRT questions. Bye bye. Where it is gone? Yeah, here it is. You can see
water reservoir, circulation pump, water distributor, and hot evaporative pad. Okay, so these are the parts. Now we'll see how it works. When we on the power supply, then what happens? This water reservoir, water circulates from the pump and goes into this water distributor, and from water distributor it gets distributed into this evaporative pad. The function of this evaporative pad is to increase the surface area of water so that more evaporation of water takes place. Okay. So its primary function is to distribute the water and increase surface area of water. Okay. When surface area of water increases, then what happens? This blower sucks the air from this evaporative pad. When a hot air passes through these evaporative pads, then evaporation of water takes place, and due to evaporation of water, its temperature gets reduced and humidity of the water gets increased. Okay. Due to evaporation, humidity also gets increased and temperature gets reduced. Okay. And at the outlet of this fan, we are getting cool and humidified air. That means that air contains moisture. Okay. Its humidity is more as compared to the earlier air. Okay. So this is the working principle of evaporative cooling. Okay. So this is all about the today's video.
So now you can understand it's a very simple fact कि here is the water, evaporation cools down the area. Okay, that's why hot air is converted into the cool, refreshing air. That's how the blower, how the evaporating cooler is worked. Okay, I hope you understand all the questions I'm giving you and you are going to be solve it, right? Sayonara, bye bye, take care.